Imagine hearing the words "I'm sorry" again, and for a brief moment you feel relief. Your body relaxes, your heart softens, and you think, maybe this time it will be different. But then days pass, weeks pass, and slowly, painfully, you realize that nothing has actually changed. If this feels familiar, stay with me until the end, because today on Decode Love, we're talking about one of the most emotionally confusing patterns in relationships. When someone apologizes but never changes, when words replace real responsibility. This topic matters because so many people stay in relationships not because they feel safe or fulfilled, but because they keep believing in promises. We're taught that apologies mean maturity, that regret equals growth, and that love is about giving endless chances. But in a healthy relationship, intentions are not measured by words. They're measured by consistency. An apology without change is not healing. It's a pause in the cycle. And cycles are dangerous because they keep hope alive just long enough to prevent you from leaving. Real accountability sounds different. It doesn't stop at, "I'm sorry," or, "I didn't mean to hurt you." It sounds like, "I understand what I did. I see how it affected you. And here's what I'm doing differently." Change has weight. It costs comfort. It requires awareness, effort, and often discomfort. When those elements are missing, apologies become part of a pattern, a script repeated whenever consequences appear. In relationships where pattern greater than words, the sequence is almost predictable. First comes the hurt, then the conversation, then the emotional apology, sometimes filled with tears, guilt, or self-blame. And for a moment, it feels deep, even intimate. But then life goes back to normal, and the same behavior quietly returns. This is where many people get stuck because emotional apologies can feel like proof of love. But emotion is not the same as transformation. One of the most painful truths is this: strong emotions during an apology often come from fear of loss, not commitment to change. Someone can feel genuinely bad and still be unwilling to do the work required to grow. Feeling sorry is easy, changing patterns is hard, and love without effort becomes an empty performance. If you're an empathetic, loyal, emotionally aware person, this dynamic can trap you for years. You see potential. You remember the good moments. You believe that patience will eventually be rewarded. But unlimited chances without visible change are not compassion, they are self-abandonment. At some point, staying becomes more harmful than leaving. Here's a grounding question I want you to sit with. If you ignored every promise and every apology, and only looked at this person's behavior over the last 6 months, what would it tell you? Growth, stagnation, or repetition? On Decode Love, we often say this: intentions show who someone wants to be. Behavior shows who they truly are. And this doesn't mean people can't change. They absolutely can. But change only happens when it becomes more important than comfort. If someone keeps apologizing while repeating the same behavior, it's usually not because they don't understand the problem. It's because the current dynamic still benefits them. There are no real consequences, only emotional resets. Another hard truth: consistency is a language. And when someone's actions consistently contradict their words, believe the actions. Love is not proven through guilt, tears, or dramatic apologies. It's proven through sustained effort, respect for boundaries, and visible growth over time. If this message resonates with you, if it puts words to something you've been feeling but couldn't fully explain, you're not alone. And you don't have to navigate this clarity by yourself. Subscribe to Decode Love for more honest, emotionally grounded conversations about relationships, attachment, and self-worth. Here, we don't teach you how to tolerate less. We help you recognize what real love actually looks like. If you want, share your experience in the comments. Your story might be the moment of clarity someone else desperately needs.